Uh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Well, I hope you feel better, and I will be praying for you. It is important, and I don't want it to find you a bit sick, but I want you to stay strong. The Lord will pray and then make sure that you are healthy, and that the good Lord will protect you, make sure you be strong and be able to move on with your normal activities. Sorry to hear that, but thank you for watching. And Bamboo Tatun, if you just joining in, so could you indicate where you are, or just type in, say, oh, you're in, if you're in the state of Texas, just let us know. If you're the state of Tennessee, wherever you are, just let us know. So that we know where you are. If you're from ground zero, just tune in, just indicate if you're from ground zero. Ground zero means it's in Amber land, But anyway, if you just tuning in, and if you're in La Republic, we're glad to have you, and wherever you are. If you're in Europe, I'm sure my people in Europe now, I think some are still up now. If you are in Europe, could you just tune in, and we would glad to have you. Wherever you are. Oh, Mr. Daniel, thank you for tuning in, and we're glad to have you. We also have Helen. Thank you for tuning in, and we're glad to have you. It is important that there is important things that I would like to share with you, and I would like to talk to you. And if you just tune in, could you oh, Matilda, thank you for tuning in, and I'm glad to have you. And if you just tune in, share so that we have many people to join in, so we have more important things to talk about. And if you're in China, you're in Russia, you're in South America, just indicate. And I like to see where you are, because I go personally to see you as an individual where you were watching. And I just want to thank you so much for taking off your time and tune in this evening. And once more again, my name is Funton Daniel. I'm speaking from the state of Texas. Wherever you are, I just want to thank you for taking the opportunity to tune in this evening. I know the weather is a little bit better today, and a little bit of sunshine. I'm glad the cold weather is also beginning to boil down, so that we can have a normal weather. I know many people out there have been sick because of the changing in weather conditions that affect many people. But if you're one of those that have been affected by the weather, I just want to thank you. Oh, from Germany. Oh, I'm glad to have you. That's my sister from Germany. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you guys are still awake. I'm sure you guys were already sleeping. And if you have any other persons, please just tune in. It is wonderful having you guys. So, thank you for having you guys. If you just join in, wherever you are, could you just tune in, share so that we can start this important deliberations. My name is Funton again. I'm speaking here from the state of Texas. It is important that we carry on these important deliberations here in the United. I'm here speaking here in the United States, and it is important that we talk about these issues that affect our motherland, which is the Federal Republic of Ambazonian. It is important that we bring these important issues so that we can discuss. I know many people are out there; they don't understand what is happening. Our land was never a colonial territory, and that is the issues I am continue to emphasize, the importance of having the sovereignty of your mother territory, because someone, a neighbor, which is, you obviously know, La Republic has just taken ownership and thinks that they can just decide whatever they feel at all time. And that is why I am physically talking about issues about this, our motherland. So wherever you are and you happen to be tuning in, I just want to thank you for joining me this evening. It's about 3:46 time here in the state of Texas. And I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before we proceed, I just want to first of all thank the President of the United States. Whether you might agree with him, with me or not, but I have to thank him because he is my president here in the United States, and I have to respect him. I have to honor, he is elected by the people of the United States, and he represents the people of the United States. Whether you agree with me or you don't, but I just want to acknowledge him. And I want to thank the Secretary of State, U.S. Secretary of State. I want to thank the U.S. Congress. I want to thank the U.S. Senate, and I want to thank Nikki Haley, which is also a permanent representative to the United Nations. And I want to thank our governor here in the state of Texas, for doing a job. And I want to bring these issues that is affecting the Federal Republic of Ambazonian. Each time when I want to talk about these issues, I want to first of all bring a brief history, because it is important that those who just joining me should understand what is important about what am I talking about. Some are not aware of the historical fact, and therefore that is why I always bring this to the knowledge of my fellow listeners, whoever they are. And today I am speaking about the issues of the Federal Republic of Ambazonian. The Federal Republic of Ambazonian was a former West Cameroon or Southern Cameroon, whichever name you feel comfortable calling, but it has taken the name Federal Republic of Ambazonian. And the Federal Republic of Ambazonian has an interim president, and that interim president has a cabinet. And the interim president is in Nigeria and has been arrested. We don't know exactly why they have been arrested, but what I do know is that there is some indication that there is a secret negotiation going on in Nigeria, but it's hidden. We are not sure of this, but it's just a perception or just an assumption that there is ongoing negotiation that is going on between La Republique, Nigeria, Great Britain, United Nations representative, and France. But they use that secretism to arrest our leader, to use them under duress, to negotiate under duress when they don't have the freedom, when being arrested and put in a jailhouse, and then carry on a negotiation beyond the means of the general public. Seseko is aware of exactly our goal, that we are no longer part of La Republique. So whatever negotiation is going on secretly, Seseko is aware of the stand of the Federal Republic of Ambazonian. We will no longer negotiate with La Republique. It's that we have reached a point where we have tried, our leaders have tried to bring La Republique into order, but have failed several times. And so now we are a separate nations, and we do not negotiate with La Republique. And so whoever is in the secret meeting, whether there is one, but we are frankly stand on our firmly that the sovereignty of the Southern Cameroon territory is not negotiable. If France is the one organizing such a meeting, we want to make it clear that the Southern Cameroon or the Federal Republic of Ambazonia is not negotiable. And we will stand with our decisions, and anyone that is carrying on such a negotiations, we are let you know we will stand firm for the sovereignty of the Southern Cameroon territory. So Southern Cameroon was formerly a British colony. When the initially was a German territory, but when the German was defeated by the Allied forces, leaders of the Allied forces, which is Britain, one of the Allied forces, were mandated by the United Nations to prepare them for eventual independence. And several nations in Africa got their independence. And the people of Southern Cameroon is one of those territories that got their own independence. But at the time of the independence, the British administration felt that maybe we can collectively pool our resources together for the benefit of mutual nations. Either we join like Nigeria or we join La Republique. And so La Republique has since assimilated us and regarded us as a colony. And that is why any individual could just step up and describe the Anglophones as Biafra. That's how we often been referred to. And that is what has... We are not Biafra, we are Southern Cameroon. We are Federal Republic of Ambazonian. We are West Cameroon. We are not Biafra. Biafra is a different country, and that has nothing to do with the Anglophones. And so therefore, those stupidity that have been often been used by La Republique to describe an Anglophones, we has taught that we can live together as a one nations by pooling resources together for the common good of both nations. And we can only live together in a federal structure of government. And our people have been bringing this attention to La Republique, and each time they ignore us. In respect of this, our member of parliament, even agitated in parliament, even the worst prime minister, which is a figurehead, will stood up in front and reading a document while the member of parliament that's supposed to be seated and observe whatever he was trying to say. He himself, an Anglophone speaking, deliberately ignored what was going on, like if the Anglophone was just a minor issue. And that is why we are bringing this to the attention to the rest of the world, that the Federal Republic of Ambazonia is now a sovereign nation. And therefore, do not take any instruction from La Republique. So, all my fellow friends, whoever you are, I know many of you are here in the United States, we are no longer a colonial territory. We are a sovereign nation. And so, you can choose to stay in your bungalow and decide to ignore that the reality. But I am here to bring to your attention that the sovereignty of Southern Cameroon is not negotiable. The sovereignty is a sovereign nation, and we must stand for that. And anyone or individual carrying on a negotiation behind this thing shall not be applied to the Federal Republic of Southern Cameroon. We must stand for and maintain the sovereignty of our nation, and the nation must be free. And another warning that I want to let to those that be appointed, whether you're a civil divisional officer or whoever you are, if you are the governor, whatever position you are currently held in the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, we are asking you, pack your luggage and you leave the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. If you are senior division officer, you are delegate, you are whatever position you are currently or will be holding, and you leave wherever you are, we are asking you, pack your luggage and get out of the Southern Cameroon territory. And it is very, very important, Mommy. It is very important that wherever you are, if you're watching, wherever you're watching, that La Republique, any appointed senior divisional officer that has been appointed that is currently residing in the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, you have to disembarkate. You pack your luggage, or you choose. If you choose to remain in Southern Cameroon territory, you must abide by the Southern Cameroon regulations. You must abide by the Federal Republic of Ambazonian territory constitution. You must abide by the regulation govern the Southern Cameroon territory. You do not give any instruction. You do not carry on any order. And order rests in the interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. So it is very, very important that we understand this. Before I proceed, I just want to give you detailed analysis that what happens with the United Nations. So, the United Nations resolutions, why I said Southern Cameroon territory is not a colonial territory of La Republique. And we want to make this clear that because many people giving the wrong impression about the Southern Cameroon, and that is why I am here to make it clear that Southern Cameroon was never a colonial territory of La Republique. Southern Cameroon got her independence in 1961. La Republique got her independence in 1960. When La Republique got her independence in 1960, Southern Cameroon territory was not part of that territory. And when Southern Cameroon got her independence in 1961, La Republique was not part of that territory. And the United Nations resolution of 1608 XV of 21 April 1961, that vote granted the independence of Southern Cameroon, now the Federal Republic of Ambazonian. And United Nations General Assembly 994 in a plenary meeting that was held on Friday 21st April 1961. The United Nations General Assembly 994 plenary meeting on Friday 21st of April 1961 at 3 p.m. in New York, here in the United States. It's not in China, it's not in Europe, it's not in India, it's not in South America, it's here in the United States, it's here in New York, here in the United States. That General Assembly that was meeting on Friday 21st April 1961 at 3 p.m. in New York, the United Nations, the 15th General Assembly President Frederick H. Boland of Ireland, and United Nations General Assembly by Xian China, rapporteur of the committee, Mr. Boy, Denmark. Southern Cameroon independence to take effect on October 1st, 1961. Southern Cameroon independence was voted and take effect on October 1961. This is the country that voted for the Southern Cameroon independence in 1961. And I'm going to list all the 64 nations. And I'm going to list all the 64 nations that voted for the independence of Southern Cameroon. And I'm going to list the nations that vote against the independence of Southern Cameroon and the nations that abstain. There were total 64 countries that vote in favor of the Southern Cameroon independence. Among the list of the countries are 1. Honduras, Hungary, Iceland, India,